What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You also know I'm a Weeble preferred influencer. Best promotion in the pen comment. All you need to do, click the link, open an account, agree to the terms and conditions. They are going to give you free stock. It really is that simple. And so is the programming logic of this game. This is, again, from the Madden gameplay that they elected to put up. We're going to watch this pass out to the flat, and we have a lot of things we need to talk about as far as this improved defense goes. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the read and react, okay? So we zoom in here. Let's start off by looking at the receiver that's going out and try to understand what the defense is doing here, because when you look above this, you've got the corner, the safety, with his back to the sidelines. So how are you properly reading what's going on in terms of bracketing things other than the tight end and the linebacker? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have movement this way. Now, once the pass actually gets made, you can see the user immediately has to adjust to this. And this is a big issue with Madden because the closest defender really is nowhere. So you're trying to make up for lost time already, and as he changes again, goes to a trailing player. The game is so broke you have to make all these changes, but watch these two. Watch how these two pursued and how different it is, one to the other. You've got one running down, you have the other running up. And look what this creates, another change for the user. And then from here, just take a look at how this player pursues down. Why are these angles so harsh this way? Why does everything this game do have to be at harsh angles? Why can't players have fluidity in their movements? And why is it, when you play this game, do you constantly see some of the best Madden players in the world, right? That's what EA is selling us here, have to go out and change 3 times in a single play? To me, that's not skill from a defensive perspective. That's broken logic, right? Are we not to a point with this game where you can rely on the computer to make intelligent reactions to the play? I understand a lot of people will sit here and say, oh, it's just a game. Oh, it's not going to get everything perfect. But should it not be able to get things good enough to where you can depend on players to go out and make a fundamental effort to play football? Why is it that we constantly have plays like this? Go back and rewatch that play. To me, this play looks like what we refer to as a money play. Because when the receiver actually catches the ball, you'll notice that there's no one within 15 yards of him. And I know the initial complaint is going to be, but it's a screen, but it's thrown to the flat. By design, there's not going to be players out there. And I would agree with you. By design, every offensive play is meant to isolate the ball carrier and get them an open field. But the reality is, the defense is there to play football too. And a lot of times in Madden, you look at the defense and they just don't know how to play football. Why is it that every time you go back and look at a play in Madden, you never really can see where the point of contact in terms of the players wins and loses a play? You never see the key block. You never see really that key broken tackle. You just see a mess of players. Even in this play as a prime example, you just don't see football respected in X's and O's. You see players continually go through animations. And to me, when I point out things like, look at the way these players react to the ball carrier, the angles they take, to me, that's just harsh animations being used to replicate angles players take. In real life, if you watch football, go watch the All-22. You don't have these harsh cuts. You don't have players making harsh angles. They're running to the same objective. They're trying to, in the defense's perspective, stop the ball carrier from getting upfield. They should be converging at a similar point because, at least with football, the end zone is known. You know where you need to prevent them from going. Yet when you go back and you watch this game, try, and I stress that word, try, to replicate football, it just doesn't seem to happen. And the final point I want to make here is a lot of times when we talk about gameplay early, there's this mindset that it's the beta. There's a mindset that they can still fix it. But there also, the last couple years, has been this growing mindset that sliders can fix this, that tuning can fix this, that adjustments can fix this. All of that removed. Understand, this was created specifically by EA Sports. They had full control over everything. They could scrap all the footage here if they wanted to. Would it not benefit them to make a game that looks as flawless as possible, to even sit down with the competitors and say, listen, would you mind not running this blitz, not running this run play, not using this pass play? Do you put EA beyond that? Do you put them beyond putting out rules and regulations maybe the same way they do with their competitive gamers when they're streaming, or maybe the way they did with the Madden Next Gen 06 trailer? Do you really put it beyond them to sit down and control every aspect of what they're showing us? They can't get a game together for one full 60-minute representation of NFL football, even when they have everything they have under control. This game should have played flawlessly. It should have made any critic, myself included, sit down and shut up. Because we should have said, hey, this is the year, right? This was the make or break year for Madden. This is finally the game we've expected to see. This is the game we deserve to play. This is simulation football. But the reality is, I've shown 2 plays now, and both of them not only have fundamental issues, but they're issues that have plagued this franchise. I'm not showing you anything new with this gameplay. There's nothing revolutionary as far as what's broken. These are things as a community, not just me, as a community we've talked about with EA for years. Can you fix the way coverage works? Can you fix the way players react? Can you fix some of the motions these players have? Because at the end of the day, we are playing a video game to have control over an NFL team. Whether you're doing a play now game, whether you're doing Madden Ultimate Team and you just want to control legendary players, or, God forbid, you want to try to play franchise mode, which, by the way, got people half off this game this year. It was so bad. In order to want to play the game, the first thing we need is control of the players on the field. And Madden seems very much to not want to give us that, in favor of all these long-winded animation sequences that we can't even branch out of. And the end result, when you look at this game, it just plays clunky. That's one of the things when people look at All-Pro Football, when people look at NFL 2K5, one of the first things they notice is how smooth the gameplay looks. When you look at Madden, even though it's built on much superior hardware, and is running on, honestly, computers, consoles that weren't even dreamed about when All-Pro Football and NFL 2K5 were made. I think about that. When they were coding NFL 2K5, they had no idea where we would be now. But look where we are, and look where this game is. And ask yourself, why is it in such a similar position? And I believe you'll find the answer is the company working on it and the people that are actually trying to build this game. And because I have no faith in them actually putting out a better product, even when apparently their jobs are on the line, I've been able to end every video the same way for what seems like the past 10 years, that I will be back in the week with more commentary.